Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and the first order of business is to open the public hearing. Would you read the law or the notice for it?
Sure. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Lake Placid will hold a public hearing on Monday, July 1st, 2024 at 4:45 p.m. in person at North Elba Town Hall, 2693 Main Street, first floor, Lake Placid, New York, and via video conference to consider the following. Proposed local law number 3 of 2024, a local law to amend 2017-20 and 2017-22 of the Code of the Village of Lake Placid. The link for the video conference will be the same as for that day's board meeting and available on the village website. A complete copy of the proposed local law may be found on the village website at https://northelba.villageoflakeplacid.ny.gov, or you may obtain a copy by emailing the village clerk at lpclerk@villageoflakeplacid.ny.gov. All interested persons are invited to participate in the public hearing and will be given an opportunity to be heard. This local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. Signed, Anita A. Essling, Village Clerk.
Thank you very much. We announced originally that we were going to vote after the meeting. We have an unusual circumstance where we only have 3 of our 5 board members. So we will not be voting. Fortunately, they'll be able to either get the written transcript or listen to the recording of what's said. Also, we aren't here to debate tonight. We're here really to hear what you have to say. And also, there's quite a few of you. We'll get to as many people as we can. But this is really just for the extension of parking hours from 8 to 8, not for all the other complaints, but depending on how much time we have, if there is time left over, we'll try to hear everybody. Also, we would like to just limit everybody to 2 minutes so that we can get everybody in. Is there anyone that would like to start? First one's the hardest, after that, everyone jumps right in.
I'll start, I guess. State your name, please. Christina Carr.
Thank you.
And I understand the need for the revenue for parking. It helps with maintenance, upkeep, things like that. It's important. I don't really oppose the extension of hours, but I think that the permit system and parking for employees needs to be dealt with before any other changes are made.
And when you say the permits need to be dealt with, meaning what?
Not enough permit parking spots for the amount of permits that you issue.
Okay,
And then having those spots be filled with other people. I understand they're ticketing that now, but honestly, they should just be towed. And make that spot immediately available.
okay, and you do realize that once the upper MBT is taken, that you can go down to this municipal lot and park anywhere you want,
Correct.
but you're saying all that's taken?
We on busy summer days, yeah.
Okay, and then you can go down also to Stewart's lot and park there, there's spots there as well.
Gotcha, okay. I don't go to the Stewart's lot often, but.
Right, well, hopefully it doesn't get that busy that often, but yes. And hopefully maybe now with the higher rate in the municipal lot won't fill up with people, just figuring they can park for the day for $5. I think that's what it used to be capped at, wasn't it?
I went from 5 to 8 and then,
It was a real part.
yeah,
Okay, but thank you
Don't
very
you want people to park there all day?
Well, no, not really. I mean, we do have some of the larger hotels that have limits of parking there too.
Right.
I mean, we really want is spots on Main Street, what we really want is people that want to go and shop in the stores, go to the restaurants, go to the movie theaters, that thing.
And spend the day.
Right,
Right.
but that's not what we're getting a lot of the time. And that's really the reason we have when you mentioned the revenue, it's really to make it fair. I mean, we have employees of stores or owners of stores that are just pulling in and parking at the end of our parking hours and taking all the spaces. So that's a lot of what it's geared toward. But thank you for your input and thank you for going first.
And I know you're a business owner in the village. We're just keeping track for our purposes. So do you also live in the village?
I live outside of the village and I recently closed my business within the village. I'm over in Saranac Lake now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question. What is the total revenue in a year from parking?
it ranges, generally speaking, somewhere between $425,000 and $475,000.
It's a part of our general budget.
Right.
If it weren't there, our taxes would be higher, we wouldn't have money to work with.
However, half of that, just as a side note, half of that does go into a parking reserve fund. And that parking reserve fund helps.
Main
upgrade
Street
meters.
benefit fund.
Main Street benefit, so, when we originally raised parking on Main Street from $1 to $2 an hour, half of that money was segregated. For new parking meters or new enforcement software or whatever, so we weren't hitting the taxpayer again for it. Because normally it would go in as a regular budgetary item, this way I can use funds from the reserve to pay for it.
Thank you. And just one more question, you mentioned enforcement. I imagine if the village police started writing speeding tickets for going 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, you would hear about it, all right, it's called discretion. I know, there's several times I've seen one car parked on Main Street, just last week, right in front of the arena, midweek, midday, no other cars around. One car is there, it's got a ticket on it. Is really, I mean, the idea I always believe of the parking enforcement is to rotate parking. So these stores do have fresh customers coming in and they can have that and spots aren't hogged up. It seems in the last few weeks, there's been quite almost a competition between these people writing tickets. And they're writing people for minutes over their limit, or again, when there's no need to, when it's busy and it's crowded and there's no spots, absolutely write tickets, I have no problem with that. But when there's nobody else there, it just really, I think it's in bad taste, especially if it's a local person and they even have their sticker on there, they're local. I'm not saying if you're local, you can disobey the law, not at all, but it's about discretion. And that I know can't be handled at this meeting, but maybe for future thought, when there's talking with the enforcement officers, that could be communicated to them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I just get your name for a record?
Yes, Sean Donovan,
John. Thank you. Do you live in the village?
I live in the town.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Lucky number 3.
I'll go. Colin Collins. I did it. I lived in the village, Collins with an S. I lived in the village, up to 2 months ago, now I live in the town. And, I understand the need for the, revenue. The people who have the little stickers so that we can do 8 to 11.
You're talking about the round blue ones?
8 to 11. I wish there was something that we could do about that, because I ended up getting a ticket because I stopped to pick up some Chinese food and it was like, oh, there's a place. I parked, I ran in and got it. By the time I came out, I mean, how long? We all know how long it takes. There was a ticket, okay? So I just think that maybe, like, he was saying that there should be some leniency, because someone who's parked in front, with a ticket or a sticker, we're not gonna be in there for very long. Also, if you're insistent upon charging the tourists who come here, who may still come here after you keep raising these rates and raising the longer hours, can you give the people with their little stickers a break and we can come and park from 6 on?
I told you I wouldn't get into.
Right, no, I know, I did, hey,
But to answer your
yeah.
question, we are working on that, that isn't talked, we're trying to figure out how to do it fairly for everybody. Part of the problem we had is that 5 o'clock enforcement ends, so people just roll in and park that are working in places. And they stay there all night, so now nobody can come and park and shop and go to the stores or go to the theater. So if you use what you're talking about, the local sticker, those people buy those or get those, and they do the same thing. But we're trying to find a way to do it. We're also trying to find a way that you can get 15 minutes. That'll be coming shortly, but we still need some more time to talk about it.
It works on the meter. You can get 15 minutes for free on the meter.
We already
Yes.
have that in place?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's already on the meter.
Okay.
The app is having some malfunctions that we're in the process of fixing. Right now, it's giving you 15 minutes on the back end and it's making you buy an hour, which isn't going to be the case. It's gonna give you 15 minutes on the front end. So if you have to run an errand, you can. We just had a slight faux pas with the app company trying to get it situated. So it is in the process.
But you would still, like in this case, if you're going in, pick up your Chinese, go to the meter, punch in your license plate and get the free 15 minutes, you have to at least, yeah.
Right, well, You said what ends at 5 o'clock?
Before parking enforcement did, and now we're gonna be extending that to 8 o'clock.
Oh, I thought it said in the article 6 to 8.
Weren't we 5 before, were we 6?
No, it was 6, but the
Okay,
officers would ticket from 5 to 6, not the parking enforcement. Parking enforcement officers end at 5 o'clock, generally speaking. We did do some jimmying with the schedules to keep people here later. But it used to be, they would go home at 5 o'clock and then the police officers would ticket from 5 until 6.
And is there a problem?
I'm
I
sorry,
mean, if you could allow us to come in at 6 and park with our stickers, is there a problem with the police for that hour? I mean, if we couldn't extend,
we are working on that.
okay.
We're looking to do something for the locals.
Okay, I think that that's important, because you do have to remember, right now, everybody's looking, oh my God, it's summer and it's all the events. But, you know, it's not like this year round, and we all know it. And we have to remember we're a small town, no matter how you want to dress it, we're still a small town. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind, and you have to think about the big picture. And it's not just grabbing money when you can. So.
Well, it's also about equity. I mean, you know, like, the plate, and the other thing you mentioned was charging, a lot of places don't, a lot of cities don't, because they keep their sales tax. In our case, all the sales tax that comes in Essex County, or in Lake Placid, goes down to Essex County. We provide 75% of their budget, we get one half of 1% back. And that's why places like Saratoga can offer free parking, because they're getting 4% of everything that happens on the street, we don't get that privilege.
And who makes that decision?
We're not a city, you have to be a city.
You have to be a city.
And the last city that was allowed to become a city was 1904 or something like that. The county would go broke. If we became a city, they would lose 75% of their funding.
Maybe an amendment could be made
We tried.
to,
They just laugh at us when we ask. There's no way that's going to ask. They aren't gonna give up our money. What would the county do?
they could, I'm not saying to give it all up, but maybe they could give us some of it
If
back.
we became a city, I don't know if we'd do much.
I'm not saying make it a city, I'm saying make an amendment
We're the biggest.
to their.
We tried, the county just. I don't know. If you'd like to go down to the county and talk to them, I'd love to go with you.
Okay.
Once again, thank you very much. Anybody else?
Well, I'm gonna go jump in, Victor Smith. I've got a couple of questions. First off, we're gonna have, it's gonna be from 8 till 8
Eight to 8, right?
AM to 8 PM.
Except for Sunday, which would be 1 to 8.
So that's gonna be enforced by parking enforcement and then the police department.
That's right.
Okay. So I just parked out in front of the town hall here across the street. And parking is metered from School Street to the Hilton by Peach Resort. So I went to, I mean, they're gonna expect a ticket out there, so I went, tried the meter. It's out of order. So I see a lot of cars, like this gentleman said, that are parked on Main Street and right out here in front. That never have I seen a ticket on. I think that, I believe that when the whole thing started along, or this board, that the meters were going to be, individually profiled, or in other words, you can account for every meter, how much it's taken in.
Yes.
Well, some of those meters, in some certain places where there's cars parked the whole time, and they're out of order, obviously, they're not gonna take anything in. So I think that needs to be addressed. And I see vehicles parked in front of, this is the parking thing in front of here for more than 15 minutes, you know, I probably have done it myself. I guess that's,
You're not complaining you didn't get your ticket, are you?
no, I'm wondering if I'm gonna get a ticket when I go out there, because it's out of order. So, and the thing is, I was wondering about the enforcement, if they're gonna have more enforcement officers, or the police department's gonna enforce it after, well, 5 o'clock.
So we have 2.5 full-time employees now to do parking enforcement, so they will be staggered throughout the day. It used to be 2 were on at the same time
Yeah.
during the day, and then they would pick up each
So
other's
that's
days
7
now.
days a week, right?
So we will be able to cover a larger area of time, more so than we currently do.
So what, I mean. If I were to walk up and find out, who would I ask for, or if I'm not able to get that on our FOI? The amount of revenue is generated by each post.
I can tell you how much is
Yeah.
generated by each post, and even if they're out of order, a lot of people, if they park in this area. Will go on the app and they pick that machine, the app still works, so it still generates revenue based on that machine.
You gotta realize I'm over 50 yard mark, you know, and I. Sometimes those apps are beyond my technical expertise. All right.
Thank you. Sure.
I am David Lally, and I shudder to say that I am one of the parking enforcement officers. So I just wanted to say a few things. Number one, there's usually a 30 to 45 minute gap between when a ticket expires and if and when a ticket is given. So if a parking ticket expires at 11 AM and I go by at 11:10, I'm not going to ticket it. I usually give, and 3 of us give 30 to 45 minutes. There is a glitch in the software with the meters. If you put in your credit card before prompted, it comes up and it says out of order, but it's not out of order. And I've spoken to the chief about that just last week, and I think he or one of the other guys is in contact with the software company to try to correct it. But if people, and walking around, I've spoken to 24 people in the past few weeks with the exact same problem. And so I will walk up to the meter with them and I'll say, okay, let's try it, and wait, put the credit card in when prompted, and it works. So your point is well made, and it looks like it's out of order, but they all work. There's only one that doesn't work, and it's on the main lot.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you very much.
Maybe we could have everyone who comes to visit, go online and take a class on how to use these, how to use the app. I mean, because there are people, if they're coming from the city and they're not parking, or even if they do park down there, they're not paying. So maybe not everybody understands that that there is an app, you can go onto the app and we'll teach you how to do that, just come to the town, come to the office
When we
here.
picked the Flowbird app, we picked that because it was used in New York City and Syracuse, just a lot of people coming here would already be familiar with it or already signed up.
I'm not familiar with it.
Just that was our hope, better than picking something from Colorado or something like that.
Well, I think some of these things we need to give a little more concern.
Very good.
I do want to add one thing, I want to give a applaud to the parking enforcement, because apparently they're doing a good job, because we're all here, bitch.
I think in the police department, there's an expression that says, if you're not getting any complaints, you're probably not doing a good job.
Been there, done that. Everything.
Sure, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Justin McIver. We live and work in here in Boston for 22 years, pay taxes. Work on Main Street. And I'm here to just voice a little frustration on my behalf and on behalf of the 24 other agents that I work with in my office.
Where do you work?
I work at Adirondack Premier Properties, Berkshire Hathaway office. We have to come, and a lot of us have to come and go multiple times a day. 4 or 5 times a day, in and out, run in, grab something, make a copy, make a print, drop something off, go, all day long. We have all collectively experienced in the last few months, like a significant increase in to the point where it almost feels like being targeted. And not you, sir, but I have
No,
actually.
no, it's taken.
I have actually seen an enforcement officer, when he sees my vehicle, perk up across the street and check it. Specifically, he knows it, I mean, and I do feel like some other folks have had, similar instances. I've got a pile of tickets right now, I think 3 of which I have marked down, I was parked for under 5 minutes. 2 of which, in the time it took me to park, walk to the office, pull up the Flowbird app, pay, I already had a ticket by the time I paid. So there isn't somebody's out there is not giving much leeway. Another multiple times what we've had in the office is parked all day, paid all day, expired 10 minutes before the 6 o'clock. Changeover and got a ticket in that time. So it feels a little predatory right now, and it's a lot of frustration. I know we need to absolutely, you guys are doing a great job, you're bringing in lots of money for the town, I appreciate that. But, and again, looking at, say, okay, now I have to go to the app or go to the kiosk, request the 15 minutes free. I mean, that's a huge, honestly, it's a huge piece of time when I need something quickly, I have to run in and run out and get to the next appointment, it can be really tough. And I think, is there no way there could be, hey, all right, there's a car parked, hasn't paid yet, let's give them 5 or 10 minutes before we come back to see if they're still there, and at that point in time, they could receive a ticket. That seems like just a little bit of, again, as this gentleman was saying, some discretion, in giving those tickets out. There's a lot of us that have to come and go. I'm not gonna be there long, I'm not taking a parking spot for long. When I do park for, a long day at the office, I'm in permit parking, totally. But sometimes it's just not possible for me to park permit, run to the office, do what I gotta do quick, get back out, go where I have to go. So, and there's a lot of other people feeling that frustration, having seen
In your
experience in my office and other offices. Well, we've all talked about it.
I mean,
It's been a
I hate
big
to
point
say
of
it, but you've
conversation.
chosen to have a real estate office right on Main Street where there is no parking and it's a problem. I mean, there's not a lot I hope we can do for you, but we'll take your comment, we'll do what we can.
Just, it's a,
I mean, those spaces really that are out there are designed to get people that are going to go up and shop and go look at your stores, not for people to work in them to use the spots on Main Street. But if you do choose to and you choose to pay for them, then there they are.
so no discretion.
Like I said, we're working to do something, but to be honest with you, it's not for owners or workers to take the parking spots that we want the tourists or the people from the village that want to go up and shop and go into your store to be there. I mean, like I said, you chose to be, there's a lot of real estate agents that aren't on Main Street. I realize there's great exposure, that's why you want to go there, but it is a challenge.
I didn't choose to be there, I worked there, so I worked for someone who chose to be there.
Yeah. But by the same token, I suppose you could just pay for whatever you want for the day and just come and go and park wherever you want, because you've got a parking pass.
Sure.
I mean, the parking thing.
Yeah.
And you're not, I mean, you go elsewhere, if you've ever been anywhere else to see what parking costs, I've been in places that are $6, $7 an hour. We really are a bargain here at $2.
But I don't want to say.
So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wanted to get that out there.
Every time's an hour.
What he's talking about, I think it would be something like being the chocolate tigers. And when they do that, they can tell, walk by and say, hey, this car's been here for 15 minutes, or this car's been here for 3 days, It's an old fashioned.
Like I said, we're looking for a way to help the local.
Yeah, I
I wanna go up in the 15 minutes free, or if something will work out in the afternoons, hopefully, we haven't gotten there yet, but. As far as the rest of it, it's, you're going to park on Main Street and be there.
Your predecessor used to tell me, if we don't have a parking problem, we really got a problem, because nobody's here.
That's right. Anybody else? Once. Like I said, we are still working on this. We will hopefully have some more answers. It's not an easy thing to do to balance not having everybody there and having people be able to get parking. We'll do the best we can. Sydney?
Are you planning on voting on this at the next meeting? I know not.
To be honest with you, I don't know. We'll probably bring this up at another workshop, work it through again. Until we have an answer, we won't vote on it.
There's a few people online, don't know if any of them are on the screen.
Okay. And anybody else here wanted to speak?
I think was reading the Lake Placid news, and it was mentioned our town being similar to Lake George. So I called a couple of local businesses there to see what their parking situation is. A lot of some of the businesses there have their own parking lots and they charge $10 an hour for the whole day. And there's also free parking offered to a lot of the locals. And it's also seasonal charging for it. They only charge for the summer months. I don't know what we do here. It's
We charge year round because we have the tourists year round.
right. Well, I think that a change to that, I mean, in the spring, because we don't make a lot of, like, we don't have a lot of traffic in the spring, or a lot of the locals don't want to even come on Main Street anymore. Everybody's angry, especially here in Saranac Lake, everywhere, nobody really wants to.
I can remember back when our rates were 50 cents for the lot, for the big municipal lot, whatever it was. 15, I've been on board 15 years now, I've been hearing that before, so do not want to go on Main Street. I mean, they it's too expensive, it was 50 cents for the day or an hour.
Restoration party.
I mean, I get what you're saying, and we appreciate it, like I said, we are gonna try to do something for the locals, but. Really, I would think if you own a store, or if you've got a business, you want the people parking there, they're gonna come in your stores. It's unfortunate that a lot of owners don't look that way, they just want to park as fast as they can right in front of your stores, that's what we're trying to regulate.
Well, I mean, I own a store and I definitely don't park right in front, because
I we appreciate that, but there are a lot of people in
Which I
there,
get,
there
but
are a lot.
I think there's definitely a lot that could be done. I mean, a warning ticket, you know, if the ticket's still there, 15 minutes, okay, give them a ticket, you know, but it's just absurd.
Like I said, we thank you for that comment, we'll see what we can do.
Can I get your name, please?
Isabella Celeste.
Thank you.
Anybody else before I go online? Is there anybody that's online that would like to ask a question?
We have a
Oops,
chat.
so-
You want me to read it in case everybody
I'm
can't
sure, if
see
you
it?
want to make it for the record.
Why does it seem like the village board is attempting to minimize employees parking on Main Street when they are attempting to assert that tourists need to be able to park? Employees can't find a parking spot, how are businesses supposed to run for tourists and residents to visit them?
The employees we're hoping will park in the designated spots that we have in the upper NBT, the municipal lot and the Stewart's lot.
Does anyone online want to make a vocal comment?
I would like to.
Go ahead, Miles.
I think it's important for everybody to also understand that parking enforcement is a contactless enforcement. In other words, these parking enforcement officers are walking up to these vehicles and they have 30 seconds to a minute contact with that vehicle to decide if somebody's paid or didn't pay. I think that's something to keep in mind when we're looking into all of these suggestions that are being brought up.
Yeah, we are definitely looking into that one. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Hi there, would you like a chance to speak?
Yeah, my name is Yanis, everybody knows me. I'm concerned about this increase of the hours of the parking lot. You guys concerned a lot about the vacation rental because people are not able to rent it and they don't have place to stay. But now you guys increasing the hours from 5 to 8. So all our employees on the Main Street, based off salesperson, has to run at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock dinner time and think about it to put a quarter to pay the parking. So people have to leave the work just because somebody came up with the idea to increase hours.
So are you telling me that your employees use Main Street for parking for their job?
Sure it is.
That's what we're trying to stop.
You're chasing them.
That's right, that's what we're trying to stop, get them to buy parking passes and park at the designated parking spots. top of the MBT, the main parking lot and
That-
Stewart.
Not enough, it's not enough. Because I have a restaurant, I have 2 parking lots for me and my wife, and actually 3 parking lots. And I have 7 employees. All those people, even when they come for touring, they look and they don't have parking. They have nowhere to park. So if we are concerned for employees and workforce, where to stay, you guys have to be concerned how they're gonna go to work, where they're gonna park.
So you're not worried, you'd rather have your employees park on Main Street than people that are coming to your restaurant, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, also the people having dinner, you come for dinner, you're gonna go think about how you're gonna pay in the middle of dinner parking lot. I'd like to know what we're earning with this increasing the dollar. How much is it now, 50 cents, increasing to 75 cents, that's normally everything.
The Main Street's staying the same, it's just the municipal lots that are going up.
I'm totally against going from 5 to 8 to the parking hours extended.
So your employees have a place to park.
My, yours, his, everybody. You.
But that's what we're trying to target, we're trying to make it a place so that someone that wants to go into your restaurant.
Increasing hours, you don't make the space.
Okay. Well, thank you for your input.
Increasing the hours, you guys hurting the people. You're hurting the local people. That's the problem for the locals.
When you say the locals, you mean the ones working for you or another store?
Working for you, for me.
I mean, we just had a complaint that people don't want to shop Main Street because A, it's too expensive, well, now there's not even be a place to park.
Be expensive price, 50 cents to 75 cents increase, man, it's okay. But now when you increase the hours of the parking, what is the reason behind?
Like I say, trying to get spaces open so that people that want to go on Main Street can, so employees aren't taking up all that spots.
No, that's totally wrong.
Okay, I thought that's what you
guys
just told me.
think, whatever who come with this idea, which is most, sorry about that, but most stupidest idea ever been. And this been before and was pushed back and came again on a table. And that has to be stopped, because 5 o'clock, people, employees, everybody gets hurt. You, me, anybody. Everybody who has a business, so you guys supposed to protect the businesses, not few people which want just think about it like they think it last winter when we closed for the game, we closed the Main Street and hurt all the businesses. Nobody think that time that we lost 75% of revenue for those 3 weeks. For those small Olympics, whatever was Main Street closed. That all the businesses lost the revenue 75%.
Not all of them.
And nobody of this, few people which one, they don't know what is business. And they're just thinking about it, that it's good idea, it's bad idea.
Okay, thank you very much for your input.
I'm very concerned about
Okay, well, thank you very much for your input.
it.
We'll take it under advisement.
Earning the money, if it's a reason of the cost or something, the town needs the money or county needs the money, we don't get money because we have to pay extra person overtime to wash the cars and go from the car to the car and getting the tickets. So actually we're losing, the town losing, county will lose the money in the long run, not making money. Before increasement was reason, we have a reason when they increased previously for the parking. It was the reason making money for the garage, the garage, which one never happened.
Not going to happen now either.
But that time was the reason, when we came on the board and mayor and everybody told us we're increasing from 20 cents, 25 cents.
Well, we started the Main Street Benefit Fund, that's what pays also for your Christmas lights and what have you on Main Street. But the parking garage went from being $4 million to $12 million during like that during COVID, put it out of price. Can't be done.
But that time, at least we have a reason for increasing. Now, if you look at Saranac Lake, has no parking charges, it's free parking, 2 hours. You have 2 hours to park and functional, very normal. Over here, we have 3 times more parking than Saranac has. Or more, right? We have meters, increase them 25 cents after so many years is fine. But increasing the hours 5 to 8, every person walking a restaurant starts complaining. Everybody in Mason.
Okay, like I say, thank you very much for your input.
Thank
We'll go from
you.
there.
I'll give you some concern and get guys who work on the other side increase.
We'll do our best.
Because a lot of people you guys disappointed, all the businessmen. The meeting is now in a busy time in hours where all the business owners will come here and assist whatever I say. Because we met.
Like I say, if that's what all the business owners want, is that all their employees and the owners to park on Main Street.
They were not able to come because it's very busy right now and trust me, all the businesses, some of them already came to complain to mayor. But
Okay, like I say, it was 2 minutes and we've been well over that. You're kind of going over the same thing again, but thank you for your input.
because we don't learn nothing, we just heard the words. Other than that,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
One last chance before we. Yeah.
Could I spend a moment to get a little more input if you don't mind?
Sure, remember that you have to do this as a public citizen, not as
It's a valid comment.
as an employee.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I would add one thing, sir, Art, sir, when it comes to are we enforcing the permit parking as diligently as we're enforcing?
That's my understanding.
Because this has been a problem a lot of times, so the permit parking will be full of New Jersey plates when I'm looking for a spot to park.
Okay, I'll definitely take that too.
And then end up parking on Main Street, paying for it, getting a ticket.
No, that should be just as there to.
That'll be appreciated, because a lot of times when we are looking, those permit spots are all full.
Okay. Thank you. Change your mind? Well, I just want to say something. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So businesses like Jerry Strax, for instance, who takes up probably between 10 and 20 parking spots a day, he pays for those spots?
Tino, yes,
Cause I've never seen those cars with a ticket on them,
yes,
so he pays for all of those.
yes.
Okay. Curious. Why is it alright for him to take up spots all day with customers' cars, but employees can't?
Well, as long as you're paying, I mean, if you own a business, you can go park in front of yours and pay all day if you want to. But I mean, we
But
don't
that's what
want
you don't
that.
want.
That's exactly right. There's nothing we can do to stop you. If you want to pay the meter and park in there and have all your employees pay the meter and park everything up on Main Street, it's nothing we can do.
And I think that, you know, underlying, you know, the approach in paying for parking, you know, in any municipality is trying to support turnover so that there's availability. And I think that's kind of, you know, the underlying theme around, you know, a lot of what we're trying to balance and manage is like, you know, how do you provide that accessibility to everybody who wants to go shop?
If turnover is your goal, then businesses like Jerry should be allowed to use the metered parking. They sit there all day.
But like I said, we can't legally stop you if you chose to park on Main Street every day and pay the meter during the hours. There's legally nothing we can do to stop you. But like I say, we're not done. We're still struggling. We're trying to strike a balance that is fair for everybody. But tonight's input will be very helpful.
Just one more message comment if you want me to read it.
Sure, go right ahead.
This parking pass that you're pushing on the employees, not only was the price increased for this pass, but this pass does not guarantee a parking spot. So again, the question arises, how are these businesses supposed to run?
All I can answer to that is you've got the upper MBT, the overflow is municipal, and then you've got the Stewart's lot. And there's also parking, I believe, across in front of the lake house, and there's also parking going down towards the toboggan chute.
We have one more person to join. I don't know if they want to make a comment.
Okay, is there anybody else that's online that would like to make a comment? Okay, at this point then I will thank everyone for their input and I will call the hearing on the proposed parking law amendment closed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Congrats.
Appreciate you coming in. Okay, we will move into the regular board meeting. First thing we will start with is item A, regular board meeting minutes from June 17th.
We'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and, item B,
I'll make the motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'm, I as well, otherwise I don't think we have a quorum, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct.
TCC extension purchase decision, that was to not take the TTCs, right?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I as well. And water department resignation, Jeremy Glenn,
I'll make the motion with regret.
I'll second with regret.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I will say the same thing and thank Jeremy for his years of service with us. Item E is part-time labor, I believe that's with DPW.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then the master swim event, I'd ask for that to be tabled, motion for that.
I'll make the motion to table the approval of the master swim.
And I'll second that motion to table it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so table now, I as well. And then North Country Out of Darkness walk, September 15th. I believe that, are they looking to use the oval?
Yes.
And walk around the
walk around
lake, Chuck knows about it, he's fine with that, and they will be providing you with
Nice.
insurance.
On the sidewalk as the past, yes, okay.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I as well. And then the repeat request or Northwood School dwelling request,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I as well. Anything else to come from clerk?
Nope, that is it.
And then treasure items, one affidavit, number 23, thank you very much, Jack. You don't go. Motion to accept,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I as well. Aye.
Aye.
Anything else to come from treasure?
Just a side note, it will get posted to the website, but the final tax rolls that were sent when we approved the budget were incorrect. She ran them for the wrong dates. The tax assessment was actually higher than the one that she had sent me, so instead of the tax rate increasing slightly, it actually decreased 4.33%. So we are going to drop the tax rate per thousand, 20 cents per thousand. That will be uploaded onto the website as well as to the actual budget, just to make people aware.
Good news.
Yes, very good news.
20 cents, you said?
Yes. And I can send you an email report if you want.
Okay, sure.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, great. Anything under new business? How about under old business? Nothing under mayor items right now. Commissioner reports.
Nothing.
Anybody wishes to comment on the board meeting? Or ask a question?
I just need to get some names from Anita, but I don't have to do it right now. Do that after.
Okay.
Actually, people who showed up.
Anybody at home that would like to ask a question pertaining to the board meeting? Okay, at this point, I look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for your time.
Everyone have a good night.